This is a tutorial for using the Fashion and Race database. So just a reminder, to access any of the library databases, you're going to go to our databases page. Usually I just search FIT databases, and you can see it's usually the first result. That's just like the easiest way to get there. So Fashion and Race is going to be under F right here. And if you click the plus symbol, you'll see that there's a description and special instructions for how to access this. So for Fashion and Race database, you actually have to create an individual account. So first I'm going to log in with my FIT username and password. It's the same one as my email. And then it's going to prompt me to fill out this form here and create an account. Make sure that you use your FIT email address and that you choose a new password for this. I'm already registered, so I'm actually going to go ahead and log in. And the nice thing about this database is they actually give you the option to log in without your password. You can click to send me a passwordless link, and it will send a link to your email. You can just click on that link and you'll automatically be logged in. So once you're logged in, you'll see this message, welcome. That means that you're officially logged in, and you can jump to the home page. So just FYI, if you're not familiar with the Fashion and Race database, the Fashion and Race database is a resource that looks at the history and impact of race in the fashion system. So one of their goals is to expand coverage and decolonize the study of fashion by including the views of racialized and minoritized scholars. This first section, Essays and News, this covers a lot of current events and recent issues. I think this is more helpful for things within the fashion industry, fashion production. I find that learning tools tends to be geared more towards fashion history research. So one of my favorite sections is actually Objects That Matter. And this goes in depth about specific objects, and it's subdivided by categories such as hair, headwear, accessories, textiles, garments, and adornments. And so, for example, just to look at one entry, here's one about the bota. This is an object that's often referred to as a paisley, but that's not its original name. So this article is going into the history of this, different examples, and basically recontextualizing and decolonizing our understanding of this object. So everything has full citations. There's always a list of sources at the end. So that's Objects That Matter. Profiles is also a really helpful area, and this is looking at different individuals, either historical, fashion designers, leaders and change makers, or style icons, and basically just giving biographical info, but also their connection to fashion and clothing. Okay, so the next section I want to show you is the library. And the library is more like a directory that directs you to other resources. So for example, you'll see that they have featured books, films and documentaries, research guides, scholarly and popular articles, lectures and panels, exhibitions, and podcast episodes. You can view the resources by decade. And then down at the bottom, there's actually a really helpful directory of different topics that are covered in the database. So as you scroll through this, you can see what has been covered a lot. And it's a really great place to go for ideas for topics or directions for your research based on what previous scholarship there's been. So just keep in mind that the content in here is not actually hosted on the Fashion and Race database. So it's more of a directory that helps you find certain things. So for example, when you click on a book, it's not going to go to the actual book. It'll give you more information about it, but there is a link to find it at a library near you. And since most of these titles we have in our library, they're located at the Fashion Institute of Technology Library, you can just click on that link and it'll direct you back to our catalog so you can find it on our shelves. Another section I want to direct you to that I think is really helpful are the open access scholarly and popular articles. So this is really great because these links actually do go directly to the full text. It's a great way to find interdisciplinary articles that include a lot of first-person perspectives missing from a lot of fashion scholarship. So the last thing I want to show you are the research guides. And I think this section is really great because it has a lot of directories for research for areas that I think are undercovered in other databases. Some databases in fashion tend to have kind of a Eurocentric viewpoint or Eurocentric content. And so these really cover the gaps and expand coverage for areas that I don't think you can find anywhere else. So when you click on one of the research guides, you'll be directed to a page that talks about further resources that get into these topics. So that's the Fashion and Race database. I talked about the things that I think are the most helpful for this class and for fashion history research, but there's definitely a lot of areas I didn't cover. So check out the rest of the database when you have some time.